Hi, I'm Andrew Darcey. I'm a physio from Leading Edge Physiotherapy. We're one of the major partners of the Walkerville Junior Football Club for this season. You'll see our little Guernsey, our little logo there on the front of the Guernsey. Very proud to be a sponsor again this season. So, with the new season about to kick off, I thought I'd try and provide a little guidance to those mum and dad volunteers who will be donning the green vest as the first aid officers at one of our 24 teams that will be taking the park any given weekend this winter. So our physio business has a special interest in managing sports injuries in the clinic, but we also get our sort of hands dirty, if you want, attending many different sporting matches each weekend, but with a particular interest in AFL and footy. So what I wanted to quickly cover off was the process that we would go through as a first aid officer when assessing one of the kids on the field, should you get called out. Hopefully not, but should you get called out into the field during the match this season. So let's put a scenario. Little Bobby has taken a bump and they're lying on the ground in some discomfort. So if they don't immediately spring back up and run off after the play, you're probably thinking about heading back onto the field to check that they're okay. So what's the process we go through? So the first things first, number one, is just be aware of the play. So this is really the D in the doctor's ABCD acronym of first aid. Keep an eye on where the ball is, where the players are, so you don't get taken out yourself or indeed run into someone and hurt them. So this is particularly so as the age levels go up and the kids are getting much bigger and stronger. So number two is keep an eye on the kid. So as you're running out, heading out towards them, try to pick up on any clues about where the problem is, and if they're moving around, are they holding a particular area? Do they have a consistent pain response? It may help speed things up once, if you've already got a bit of an idea of what's going on, when you get out to see them and assess them. So number three, try and get a response. So talk to them. Continuing our first aid acronym, check, are they alert? Are they oriented? Are they breathing, etc. In the case of a head knock, you may go through some basic questions like called the Maddox questions, which are sort of part of a quick concussion on-field assessment. I'll try to put a link to these in the comments. But if they're making some noise and responding to you, you probably can move on to assessing the musculoskeletal problem as opposed to going through our acute sort of unconscious first aid. So number four, as you're talking to them, ask them what happened. Try to get an understanding if there was contact involved in the incident, or was it a non-contact injury? Did they, get something overstretched, or did it bend sideways? Get an understanding of the forces involved. Number five, ask them where it hurts. Not just their leg, but is it their thigh or their knee or their hip? Try to locate the problem so you can focus your attention or your assessment on that area. So then try to sort of observe it. Does everything look in place? Can they move the body part? Are there any major deformities or things potentially pointing in the wrong direction? Hopefully not. But if this is the case, it might mean you may be dealing with a fracture or a dislocation, and you might require the game to be stopped and some further assistance required. But if everything looks in line, nice straight line, everything looks in place, you can probably, the other thing is, can they move the injured body part? Number seven is, try to assess their pain. Are they in real pain, or is it just a mild to moderate, like emotional response? And in my experience, the level of pain is a pretty good indicator if something serious is going on or not. And finally, number eight, make a decision if they can come on or off the field. So if the pain is mild to moderate, everything's looking like it's pointing in the right direction, and they can kind of move the limb, but it looks like they can't continue playing, they haven't got up and run off, you're probably looking at bringing them off the field. So if you can, it'd be good to try and support them off the field. This might be requiring you to be a human crutch, or create a chair with another parent to support and lift them off the field. If it's their upper limb, you may make use of their Guernsey as a makeshift sling until they've walked off the field under their own steam. However, if, and hopefully this isn't the case, but if the pain is severe, there are signs that something is dislocated or fractured that's pointing in the wrong direction, or there's significant head, neck, spinal trauma, then you're letting the umpire know to stop the game if it hasn't been already, and you're looking for further assistance. So this might be in a parent who's a doctor, a paramedic, a physio. And in serious cases, you might need to call an ambulance. I mean, this is rare, but don't be afraid to do so if the signs indicate it. The most important thing is that the child is safe, supported, and that their pain is under control as soon as possible. Now, in the former case where you've been able to remove the kid from the field, then your basic first aid comes into play with the application of ice, compression, elevation, and referral to an appropriate healthcare provider for further assessment and management. Now, at Leading Edge, we deal with a wide range of sports injuries and be more than happy to assess any of the Walkerville Junior Football Club players should the need arise this season. Just mention that you're a member of the club when booking at one of our 3 locations. So otherwise, I hope that helps. I hope to see you around the club this season, as I have 2 boys playing in some of the older age groups this year. I'm actively involved in their team, so feel free to introduce me if you see me around the club. Ask me about any questions you've got about your child and how we might be able to help them get moving in the right direction. Otherwise, hopefully we go Cats this season in season 2023.